when his dad was sick, he was contemplating on committing suicide. And he told our friend, hindi niya sinabi sa akin.
Nagkaroon ako ng tampo ng kaunti kay Lord, kahit pa paano. My faith never wavered, but like a son asking the dad why this happened, I went through that.
Sometimes, when the people we love pass, we don't get all the answers.
Hi, Talk Sheeters! Welcome to another episode of Talk Sheets with Ice
And Liza,
where we strip down and bear it all under the covers.
where we talk about love, identity, and all the shit that matters.
Shit. For today's episode, we will be talking about a topic na it's safe to say it's a topic that we don't like talking about. Then again,
Happens
it's
to
a
all of
topic
us.
that, lahat tayo, kahit sino ka, pinagdadaanan nating lahat. That's grief, loss, and how we continue to live after losing someone we love dearly.
Well, it's never easy, whether it's someone close to us or someone we've loved from afar. Losing someone changes the way we see life. And no matter how prepared we think we are, grief comes differently for everyone. We both have
Oh yeah.
our own experiences of grief. I actually wrote a film about grief because up to now, I'm still going through it. And it's really different with different people.
Yeah, yun nga, di ba? If there's one thing daw na wag mong gagawin is bibigyan mo ng time ang grief because it's different for every individual, di ba? Pero yun nga, ikaw, what's the first time na masasabi mo you really experienced grief?
I was 8 years old when my grandfather died. And okay, kung yung kapatid ko, paborito siya ng tatay ko, I can say ako ang paborito ng lolo ko.
Oh.
Kasi my dad was a teacher. He's a school teacher. We owned a school, a preschool
Ang dad ang
before.
tawag mo sa kanya.
Daddy.
Okay.
Daddy ang tawag ko sa kanya kasi lumaki kami talaga sa lolo't lola. And etong si Daddy, sobrang talino, and because I was an overachiever even at a young age, lahat ng mga pipinsan namin parang nag-resign na sila na si Liza yung paborito. Iza ang tawag sa akin kasi nga ako yung talagang number 1 sa school. Ako yung 2 years old pa lang, pumapasok na ako sa school, uuwi ako ng recess. Ganon. Dahil nga, nasa likod lang bahay lang namin yung
School.
So when he passed away, talagang meron pang video. Alam mo yung naka-VHS pa nun, na sumasama talaga ako sa kanya sa hukay. Tapos
talaga?
muntik na talaga ako mahulog dun sa dun sa mismong kabaong niya. And iba kasi parang yung lolo mo sobrang talino. I wanted to be a teacher. There was a part of my life I wanted to be a teacher. That is something that has been stuck with me. And after that, parang baliktad. Nagkaroon ako ng aversions pagdating sa funerals. I mean, you see how emotional I become when I go to funerals na pinupuntahan ko talaga. Pero may naging thing ako na hindi ko
Actually,
sinisilip
inabutan
yung
ko yun. For a time, nung bago tayo, naalala ko yun, hindi ka talaga sumisilip eh. Parang neto ka na lang masasabi ko na nag-start na. I think with my dad.
Yes. First time kong sumilip. Well, hindi lang sumilip kasi nandun kami habang ini-embalm si Daddy Dick. Si Daddy Dick, when he passed away, nakaano siya, kung ang mga...
Hindi naman pass away, nung nasa wake.
Nung nasa wake siya, naka-bomber jacket, naka-shades. So, it became a lot easier to confront, diba, the loss. Kasi nga, parang you see him and yung physical niya is, it really represented that he lived a good life.
Yeah. Ako, before my mom and my dad, siguro, feeling ko dog.
Yeah.
Oo. Nung kay Porky nun, parang halos magkasabay, parang magkasabay ba halos si Porky tsaka si Daddy. So, kung hindi tao, it's
Pero
Porky.
grabe kasi si Ice pagdating sa animals. Like, ako meron naman kaming mga pets before, pero iba yung love ni Ice for pets. Like, he will never watch films where a dog dies.
Hindi ko kaya.
Wala siyang
hindi ko
pakialam
kaya.
kung maraming mga taong mamamatay sa pelikula, pero pag aso yung namatay sa pelikula, like,
Wala.
he will ask first, like, namatay ba yung aso na yan?
I-google ko muna yun.
Hindi niya
Oo,
panonoorin.
hindi ko talaga kaya.
Grabe yung...
Iba yung, ewan ko, iba yung dala sa akin kapag, kapag dogs. But of course, my dad and my mom, when they passed away.
So what is grief like for you? Is it louder? Is it quieter? Like ito with mommy. How are you now?
Right now, I can honestly say I'm better. Like, before talaga, ngayon kahit naiisip ko siya, hindi na siya mabigat. Alam mo, like, may mga times pa rin that I would cry, but I think that's normal.
Yeah.
I think I was able to handle my grief ng normal. I mean,
What is normal?
normal yung kasi siguro wala rin kasing mga unanswered questions eh. I think handling grief is harder if there are mga yun, unanswered questions.
Yeah.
So
Like where I am.
oo, kasi like even with my dad, 'di ba? We were able to talk. I was able to tell him I'm sorry. I love you, 'di ba? With mommy naman, kahit medyo biglaan, masasabi ko that our relationship naman, you know, it was good.
very open.
Oh, you were very open. I could tell her things. She could tell me things. Kaya siguro naging ano tawag dito, ano ko parati sa, if I feel something for someone, I will tell you. Kasi ayoko talaga ng mga what ifs eh. Siguro feeling ko kung may what ifs ako. I mean, that doesn't even mean that wala kaming mga issues ni mama. Meron at meron naman, di ba?
But you're lucky. Kasi nga ako, my dad passed. Ang dami kong what ifs. Hanggang ngayon, I have a lot of questions. I went through all the entire process of denial, anger. I think nga na-stuck pa ako ngayon minsan sa anger eh. Parang just when you think you're already moving forward, something happens that just takes you back
May
to that
tawag dyan.
feeling.
Sabi nila, parang complicated grief.
Yes,
So,
yes.
kasi yun, I think that's what makes it harder for individuals to move on when they're experiencing grief. Yun yung, kaya masasabi ko sa akin yung normal grief eh. Kasi normal naman that we grieve. Pero yan, because may mga complications na nangyayari na papunta ka na, nakaisang hakbang ka na biglang, ang dami na namang mga unanswered things na biglang mapapa-atras ka ulit.
Yeah.
Na babalik ka na naman sa kung saan ka nagsimula.
Well, would love to hear from our talk sheeters.
Yeah.
Meron silang mga tanong na sinend sa atin na siguro sila din, no? Trying to understand, you know, how grief is like for them. So, welcome to our He Said, She Said. Sasagutin namin yung mga pinadala nyong tanong para sa amin. Game.
Okay, when someone is grieving, is it better to give practical help like running errands, cooking, or focus more on emotional support?
Iba-iba siya.
I think it will fall on preference. Kasi like ako talaga, mas na-appreciate ko yung practical support.
What is practical support? Like what?
Yun, like, 'di ba, yung magulatan tayo, may food na pinadala. Kasi syempre, 'di ba, kapag nandoon ka na, especially sa wake, 'di ba, tayo mo kailangang asikasuhin. Kumbaga, ang sarap lang pakiramdam na, may pinadalang food, sige na to, yung parang hindi mo kailangan isipin tong parang the more things na out of your head na kailangan mong gawin, the better for you, that you can make space for other things. Kasi yun eh, parang, I mean, emotional support, of course, it will always be the best, 'di ba?
Both of us experienced that na ako, during my dad's wake, I felt like talagang para akong naka-autopilot.
I think normal.
I
Ako
was,
I
you
think
know,
normal yun, autopilot
I
talaga
felt
tayo.
like I was devoid of any feeling. I was just going through the motion of things. I was, being overly accommodating to people. I was even laughing with them.
Di ba ako rin? Hello?
Sometimes you question yourself like, okay, what am I really going through? So, iba eh, di ba? We can't just assign na parang, dapat pag nagigrieve ko, yung mga nakikita natin sa teleserye na kailangang umiiyak ka. Hindi eh. When you don't cry, it doesn't mean that you're not grieving.
And I think most of the time, we always mask our emotions. I think that's how we are
That's very
as human
human.
beings. Na parang, I would feel all the wave of emotions when it's just the two of us na lang.
Or sometimes when you're alone.
Minsan pag
diba?
mag-isa ako. Parang,
minsan natakot ako.
may
Minsan
ugali akong
iniwan
gano'n,
ako
ayokong
mag-isa.
pinapakita yung emotions ko sa ibang tao. I have that thing. Parang, hindi ako sanay.
Okay. How do you know if the person wants advice or just someone to listen silently?
Merong sinabi yung friend ko sa akin na, kasi nga diba, ang tendency natin when we visit yung mga kaibigan natin or yung mga kapamilya natin na namatayan, diba? Parang we tend to, instead of giving comfort, minsan may mga nasasabi tayo mga things na mas mahirap pa for them. So parang sabi nila, parang think of, di ba alam natin yung puno? Puno, di ba? Pag kinap mo yon sa gitna, may kita kang rings, di ba? So imaginein mo na yung the person who passed is in that middle of the ring. Tapos, di ba may mga layers yan. So, the closer the ring to the pinaka-center, that's typically the husband, the wife, the family, tapos the kids, tapos the parents, and then
Extended
friends,
family,
extended, palabas ang palabas. Now, kung wala ka doon sa pinakamalapit na circle, ang ibibigay mo is comfort. Hindi ka na magsasabi ng advice. Kasi ito yung pinakamalapit eh. The only thing that you can give actually is comfort.
Ako depends. Parang, ako for me, important ang presence. And even in silence, I am present. So whenever I go to a wake, like I don't even talk about maybe what happened, that's normal naman. Na tipong sirang plaka ka na kasi paulit-ulit mong kinakwento ko ano nangyari, di ba? But after that, parang, just make them feel that you're there. And if they need you, they can call on you if they just need a person that they can talk to. Okay, next question. How do you make sure you don't neglect your own well-being while supporting someone through grief?
Actually, I think this is the time that you really have to be there for each other.
Yeah.
Kasi makakalimutan at di ba, typical yun eh, especially pag nasa wake ka, nakakalimutan mong kumain. Kasi di ba, ang dami mong iniisip mo, okay, accommodate mo yung mga tao pumunta, ang dami mong iniisip. So, parang dun mo talaga mararamdaman yung importansya ng hindi ka nag-iisa. You have your family, your close friends with you. Because sometimes, kahit, syempre ako, I was looking out for other people also. My brother, yung mga ibang mag-anak, ganyan. So, sila yung nagpapaalala sa akin na, hindi paalala, pero, kain ka muna. Kami munang bahala dyan.
Well, that's a very, very specific kind of grief. Like, pero, for example, like, a grief over a friend that you lost, or like, a friendship that you lost. Like, it's also grief, di ba? Alam ko, sa isang episode natin na pag-usapan natin yun, na parang, ikaw yung naging soundboard ko sa lahat. And dumating yung point na, because you were my soundboard, it was during the pandemic, parang ikaw, wala kang naging soundboard. And somehow, na-trigger ulit yung depression mo. There was a part of it that was, part of, naging part yun kung bakit na-trigger yung depression mo. So siguro yung question dun is, how do I make sure also that I'm looking after your own mental health, diba? Kasi parang, pinaisip mo ko dun nung nangyari dun sa episode na yun, parang, my God, did I trigger that depression as well? Kasi nga, I was just thinking about myself, tapos hindi ko naiisip na ikaw rin, kailangan mo din talaga ng sasalo nung lahat ng mga sinishare ko sa yung mga experiences.
Importante lang na meron ka rin mapaglabasan. Ako, siguro. Kasi the thing is, I think with you kasi, yours is very specific that I really cannot tell it to anyone else. Diba? Hindi siya kagaya ng normal na kwentuhan lang na may naglalabas ako ng sama ng loob. Pwede ko ikwento sa tropa yun eh. Pero sa'yo kasi parang, sino makikinig sa akin sa mga gets mo?
Yeah.
I know we're talking about myself, but let's do something else muna, or let's spend time without thinking about work.
Yeah. Ayun lang. I think awareness is very important.
Yeah.
And being sensitive to each other's needs.
Yeah.
Kasi yun nga, we tend to like, indulge. Ako at the time, parang, I needed to like really unpack, and by unpacking, napunta sa yung bagahe. So, ayun siya. But thank you sa mga talk sheeters natin na nagpadala ng kanilang mga tanong.
And totoo kasi yun, di ba? That talking about grief really makes you realize that loss is something we all experience one way or another. And sometimes, hearing someone's story can help us understand a little better, di ba? Even, hopefully, di ba? Find a way to heal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah?
Sige.
Ba't topic?
And tonight, we're so honored to have someone who has faced an unimaginable loss and continues to share his journey with courage and honesty. Nako, sobrang idol ko tong taong to. And he's always been there for us pag kailangan natin ng suporta sa mga ginagawa nating mga projects and activities. He's always there for us. And
ito,
it's
fitspiration
nice.
ko to eh. Fitspiration.
Parang wala namang nangyari.
Na-inspire niya lang ako, pero hindi ko ginagawa. Pero at least, na-inspire
Nag-stuck
ako.
siya dun sa inspiration. Okay.
Welcome to Talk Sheets with Ice and Liza, Kuya Kim.
Yay!
Hello guys.
Yeah.
Alam niyo, nakakatawa, no?
Yes.
Kasi nung in-invite niyo ako dito, sinabi nung coordinator natin, I have to be in pajamas. Wala pala akong pajamas sa bahay. Ito po
kasi-
suot ko, pajama ng misis ko.
Oh my God!
Pambabae.
So, ganyan ka talaga ka-fit. Kasi sa misis mo na yung ano.
Kasi extra small ang misis ko eh. Tapos medyo medium at large ako. So medyo
I love it.
body
I love
fit.
it.
Okay.
Lalo kang naging fitspiration ni Ice.
Galing sa airline yata ito.
yung mga libre na
Ang
ngayon.
libre ng airline. Ang libre ng airline. Yan.
Ang swerte naman niya. Ako lagi parang large yung napupunta sa akin sa mga airline.
No, but I was listening to you while you were talking about me on the side. Sabi ko, actually, ang may idol sa inyo, ako yun eh. Alam mo, Lisa, model ka pa ng likas papaya, sinusunod na kita.
Alam mo ba't kami natawa? Kasi kahapon, ang tagal na namin hinahanap yung ano na yun.
Likas papaya,
Oo,
nag-trending.
yung trend. Kahapon, finally lumabas sa feed namin.
Oo. Alam di ba yun? Model si Lisa ng likas
Effective
papaya.
ba? Effective ba?
Kuya Kim, ano ba?
Yung post ko, kagano ko rin.
Pero totoo yung Kuya Kim kasi sa
Parang
profession niya,
kumain-
dapat parating fresh.
Parang kumain ako ng 10 mansanas. My God.
Ikaw naman, yung Egyptian dance mo, duck walk ba yun? O,
Duck walk yan.
Ay, so sige.
Oh, the Egyptian, ito, duck walk.
Siya ngayon pala, well, nung concert niya kasi, that was the time that you were in, during the wedding. of,
Correct.
Yeah.
Ay, nako, may isa pa akong isa pang share ko lang kay Aiza. Bakit ako naging fan dito? Nagninong ako sa liit, malabas yung tiyan ko.
Wala naman.
Ayun. It was the wedding of Drew and Iya.
Yes.
Ninong ako eh. And then in the middle of the ceremony and the reception, it was just full of beautiful music. Someone was playing the guitar and then singing songs. Hindi ko alam kung sino. The music was just so beautiful and the singer was invisible. And then hinanap ko kung sino dahil sa sobrang ganda. Nakita ko sa isang sulok, nandun si Ice, nagigitara at kumakanta. Sabi ko, si Ice pala yun? You were invisible, but your gift to Iya and Drew was just your music. Not even your persona or your personality. Hindi malaman kung sino yung tumutugtog, ang galing lang.
Yes,
Ikaw yun.
yes.
Sabi ko, si Ice yun.
Thank you.
So, likas papaya, musician. Mga
What a
memory ko.
perfect combination.
Diba? You keep me fresh.
Effective.
Effective,
Oh my God! Ano ba? This will haunt me for the rest of my life.
Likas papaya. Pero maganda hanggang ngayon maganda.
At least hindi na ako asawa ni Ice. Likas pa pa.
Likas papaya, may sarili kang equity. At yung likas papaya na yan, paulit-ulit yun. Ang commercials natin, paulit-ulit eh.
Oo, paulit-ulit.
Kuya Kim, 3 years pinalabas yun. Nasunod-sunod sa Itbulaga.
Oy, likas papaya, baka naman mag-sponsor kayo dito.
Hi!
Sino ba ngayon ang likas papaya?
Hindi ko alam.
Si Herlene Budol yata.
Ako na lang. Dede talaga.
Herlene
Ang
Budol.
galing, may likas pa rin.
Ayun. Pero bago tayo magkwentuhan.
Pag-usapan natin.
Ayan,
napatawa
pero
tuloy.
mag-play tayo ng game.
Sure,
Para
sure,
may
yeah.
icebreaker naman tayo. Ayan,
Okay,
love.
so welcome to
Go mag-explain.
Shit Happens.
Okay.
So maglalaro tayo na Kuya Kim ng Guess the Acronym. Okay, so kailangan lang natin hulaan ng mga meaning ng mga patay ako dito. Ang mga Gen Z acronyms na
Mas
madalas
Gen Z pa si
gamitin
Kuya Kim sa atin.
social media.
I think.
Okay, so paunahan magtaas ng board with the answer.
Yay.
Okay, so for example, di ba, YOLO. So,
You only live once.
ah. Okay, so first acronym.
ISTG. Okay. ISTG.
ISTG.
Pumulit ulit siya sa dun. Magagalit talaga.
Ang ganda to. Isa lang. Okay. Ito. I am still taking Goli. Di ba? Naghihintay sa dinner.
I shall take out Goto.
Shit.
Ano yan?
Ano to?
Hindi ko alam. It's just like words that...
Correct answer is
I swear to God.
I swear to God.
Ako,
The sentence, hindi siya clue. It's the
the
sentence.
sentence.
Okay.
I know na why. Kasi
ISTG?
parang ano yan eh, parang OMG.
Oo.
Kasi you don't want to take the name of the Lord.
In vain.
Ginagawang ganyan.
Okay.
Parang OMG, di ba?
ISTG. Ayan, alam ko yan.
Ayan. Ano man to?
Ano ah?
Ah.
IYKYK. Only the true fans will understand this.
Ay, alam ko. Madali lang yan eh.
Pero, ano sila?
Teka lang. Wala.
Madali lang yan eh.
Ano sa'yo? I
No,
you
you
know.
Oh my God!
Napapag-halataan.
Yung Gen Z, may sense pa, di ba? Yung Gen Alpha wala na sense. May mga words sila na hindi ko talaga maintindihan.
Hindi ko talaga maintindihan yung mga skibidi.
Oo, skibidi.
Alam ko Scooby-Doo.
Parang natin Scooby-Doo. Pero Scooby-Doo.
Ano yung Scooby-Doo?
Aso.
Aso yun.
Pero walang meaning.
Wala.
Eh sila may meaning eh.
Wala. Skibidi, wala. Ano meaning?
Tsaka di ba uso yung 6'7"?
Tsaka yung mga Italian, ano ba yun? Italian... Basta.
Hindi ko maintindihan din.
Oh my God.
Okay ba?
Talagang sinadya niya.
H. He forgot my birthday. S2E5.
SMH.
Sumalangit.
Sumalangit man. Hi.
Sana naman.
Ano yung SMH?
Shaking my head.
Ayun, shaking my head.
Kayo yan.
Kakampo natin. Shaking my head.
Shaking my head. Oh my God. Ako, samugahan. Ganon.
Gumagawa ka na ng ibang lengguwahe.
Bakit gumagawa nga rin ng Gen Z ng lingwahe? Ba't hindi magkaroon ng
Ay,
Liza?
gumagawa rin nila yan eh. Pare-pareho lang tayo.
Wala tayong tinama. Okay, game.
Isa pa?
Yeah, alam ko yan.
TBH, hindi ko na talaga alam.
Alam ko na yan. Ooh.
Yan.
Excuse me.
Ganda to. Tila bahala ako.
Na-reveal na kapampangan ka ba, Kuya Kim?
Tila bahala ako.
Tila bahala ako. Anong tama?
To be honest.
To be honest.
To be honest. Oh.
Oh my God, you're not perfect.
FIP.
FYP, I can stop scrolling. Everything keeps showing up on my
Madali lang yan.
Oo.
reveal.
Pag nagkamali ka ba dyan?
Tama.
Ito
Naku.
talaga ako yung may nakabagets dito.
Ikaw pinakabata naman talaga. Tanda na ako nung ayos ka pa.
Ay, saka pa Kim na siya. Ngayon, ice na.
I am old.
Ha?
Hi. Wala pa siya. Wala pa si Lisa.
Ano?
In my offer.
Ay, in my opinion!
In my opinion.
Kapalitan!
May IMHO pa yan, di ba? In my humble opinion.
Okay, visit.
TFW, you had your first.
Next week, puro ganyan magiging language natin sa meetings.
TFW.
Ha? Wait
The
lang.
fakwas. The fakwas. Yun yung first ko. Ano the fakwas? Ano ba yun? Ito ba yun?
Hindi, ano ba?
Ang babastos natin, ano ba? Ba't pumunta sa gano'n?
The first
The first one ba?
Answer ko is that feeling.
Ay,
Oh my God, ang hirap naman nun, ah.
Bakit? Masok naman yung, the fuck what? You had your first sip of coffee?
Oo nga, ano ba yun?
Ako the first one, pero W-A-N.
IIRC.
My God.
IIRC, nakapunta na tayo dito.
Yan, oh. Corporate yan.
National Internal Results Company.
IIRC 13 ang dating eh.
Ay lang ako eh.
If I remember correctly.
Ano yan? Ano yung IIRC?
If I remember correctly. If I recall.
Okay. You just don't need to complicate it pala.
Oo nga.
Okay.
LMP.
Alam ko yan.
LMP, kung gusto mo sumama sa
Ano ko yun?
Sa mga encounter, if I remember correctly, hindi ka naman madaling makatanda.
Ang lala mo kaya?
Ay, mas gusto ko.
Alam nyo, magkakaroon na tayo ng Kimisms. Oh my God. Mas nagme-make sense sa mga age namin yung
Diba?
mga acronyms ni Kuya Kim.
Ang lala mo kaya?
Wala mo kaya?
Ano yung alam kay? Ano yung alam kay?
Let me know.
Let me
Let me know. Let me know.
Okay,
Let
last
me know.
FWIW. FWIW, pwede naman natin i-delay yung plano ko.
Ito rin. Ready?
1, 2, 3. Dapat may ano to, may stress. For winning is winning. Dapat may emotion. For winning is winning.
Ano yan? Ano?
Wow. Pwede naman natin i-delay yung plano kung busy ka.
Ayun ba? Tama? Tama?
Hindi ko alam. Feeling ko
For we, I will. Pwede naman natin.
Ano tama?
Ang tama po is for what it's worth.
Ah,
Oh
for what
my
it's
God! For
worth.
what it's worth. Oh my God. For we, I will.
Oh, ito, meron ako bonus. Hindi na ako sasagot kasi alam ko. AMP.
AMP.
Lagi ko yan nakikita.
Medyo bastos to. Nakampo siya naman eh.
Ako derivation. Ang puta.
Ano tama?
Ain't my problem.
Oh
my problem.
Yung pala yun. Ang dami mga amp. Akala ko, ang puta.
Ain't
Ako,
my problem.
ang putya ah.
Ang puta.
Ano po ito?
O sa'yo ko ibibigay yung prize. Pero Kuya Kim, laging panalo ang guest namin
Ayun.
dito.
Uy, naku naman.
Buksan mo
Open,
yan
open.
makita
Para...
mo. Gusto mo na rin gamitin.
Pajama ba to?
Brief.
Iyon naman.
Yay!
It's a blanket.
With your face.
Yan naman. Ang trabaho kasi namin, palagi tayo naghihintay eh.
Yes.
Dapat lagi tayo merong kumot.
Oo, di
Saka ang maganda
ba?
rito, hindi mananakaw.
Sigurado sa akin.
At pag ninakaw sa'yo, alam mo ko na kung sino
Alam mo na,
kumuha.
Alam ko na sino kumuha. Thank you for this ha.
Thank you din. Nandito na tayo sa part ng podcast natin. Welcome to our threesome.
It's a big honor.
It's the most wholesome threesome.
Malaking karangalan. Thank you ha.
Mapagmamalaki ko na yun.
Kailan mo sasabihin, we had threesome with Kuya Kim, di ba?
At least may
Ice and
paggalang pa
May
rin.
threesome kami.
Ni Kuya Kim.
Okay.
No, but really, when you invited me, sabi ko, I want to go.
Thank you.
Want to go, yeah.
Thank you.
And you were asking me, kanina you're asking me, is it okay to talk about it? I think the more I talk about it, the more I honor my Eman. So yeah, the more I honor Eman, and the more her memory becomes healing
Yes.
rather than hurtful or ugly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And tonight, yun nga, thank you for being open to talk about that. Siguro, let's start with the question na, what's the one thing people say about grief that you wish they'd stop saying?
There are many ways of asking how a grieving person is. Yung casual na, how are you? Okay lang yan. I always say, I'm okay, I'm good. Pero yung gusto kang usisain, how are you? Ganon. Kasi, they think kasi it's linear eh. They think dahil 5 months na yung nakakaraan, okay ka na eh. Yung tatanungin kang, how are you? Parang hinuhukay niya yung nakaraan, no? Kasi there are days when it's really painful, and there are days when it's okay. Now I'm good. Because exciting to, nakita ko yung studio nyo, nakita ko kayo, but there are times when I have memories of Eman, and I'm back on day one. Yung
What's that
it's best to just be parang leave a grieving person, give the grieving person the ministry of presence. Just be there.
Yeah.
Pero yung mag-usap tayo at pag-usapan natin yan, wag. Ayokong pag-usapan eh. Unless sa akin galing yung kagustuhan na pag-usapan, ang isang grieving na tao, just be there.
Yes.
Totoo yun.
Yes,
there.
Totoo yun. And yun nga, tama yung sinabi mo, Kuya Kim eh, hindi siya linear.
Hindi siya linear.
Hindi siya linear
I'm reading a book now eh. It's called A Year of Magical Thinking by Joan Didion. Doon galing yung grief comes in waves.
Yes.
Yeah, kasi ngayon, okay, mataas yung wave, okay ka. But there are days na biglang bababa eh. Tapos hindi linear. Si Eman passed away about 5 months ago. There are days when I wake up in the morning and it feels like day one.
Yeah.
And there are days when I feel like I'm totally healed already. So depende.
Hindi mo talaga malalaman.
Hindi mo malalaman.
Hindi mo
Yeah,
talaga
hindi mo
malalaman. And, ako, totoo ba yun? Kasi, di ba sinasabi nila that grief has it has a process. Like, denial.
The different stages of grief.
Yun, did you go through that talaga?
Hindi, iba rin eh. What I do now, I'll make kwento the different stages of grief that I went through. The first was shock, disbelief. When I got the message from my wife, and then I called her right away, they were abroad eh. I was numb. I didn't know what was happening. Parang totoo ba to? Nananaginip ba ako? Lord, sana panaginip lang. That numbness stayed for... I had to work pa the next day.
Wow,
I had to
talaga?
work because they're all abroad. And if I stayed home, nandun yung kwarto ni Eman eh. Nandun pa yung amoy ni Eman, nandun pa yung mga gamit niya. I just wanted to leave the house. And yung reflex ko was to go to work.
Yeah.
And at yung show ko, comedy pa yun. So I just told my boss that I may not be myself dahil namatay ang anak ko. But I went on working. But that's better than being alone.
Yes.
Yeah. And then a few days, buti nakapunta na ako sa Amerika. And then after this belief, nagkaroon ako ng tampo ng kaunti kay Lord, kahit papaano. My faith never wavered, but like a son asking the dad why this happened, I went through that. Sabi ko, Lord, dinasal ko to. Since my Eman kasi got sick, I was praying every day. Every single day. In the morning when I wake up, I pray for Eman. In the afternoon, at night, always Eman. Soaked in prayer yan, yung anak ko. And then, that's for 7 years. And then, di binigay ni Lord. May tampo ako, sabi, Lord, bakit? And then, in my grief, I remembered that about 3 years ago, I added something to my prayer. Sabi ko, Lord, I want to fall in love with you. Lord, I want to get there, know your nature, and fall deeper in love with you. That's my prayer. Along with the prayer for Eman. You know, when I was grieving and I felt the Lord more solidly. I sleep at night para akong hinihili. And I felt God's presence. Kahit na masakit, merong peace. Masakit, pero may peace. Because I felt God's presence deeper. And I got to realize His sovereignty. That it's not our call. He's God and it's His call. I just have to trust the plan. So, my faith was necessary eh. Kasi without it, then Eman's death is meaningless. Para saan to? Ganun lang?
Totoo.
But dahil may pananampalataya ako, at dahil may relasyon ako kay Lord, He assures me that all this is a big plan. And I don't have to understand, but when I do, thank you, Lord, the time will come when I will understand.
You just have to trust it eh.
Just trust it, yeah.
Ako, interested ako malaman, of course, bilang padre de pamilya, di ba? How, you are grieving, but of course, your family is also grieving. How did you support?
Ang grief ng tao, iba-iba eh.
Yeah.
Ang grief ko, mas emotional ako, mas expressive ako, I'm able to talk about it. My wife is different. Si Feli, very cerebral yan eh. Palaaral yan. She grieves quietly. And because I know that that's her space, hindi ko siya, are you okay? Hindi ko siya ginaganon because I know the feeling eh.
Yeah.
So I just let her. But I know that Feli grieves alone. And she wakes up early in the morning to study. I know part of that is grief also eh. Yeah. And then she has a picture of Eman beside her desk while she's studying. We have a little bit of ash that we kept for the family. And that's Feli's process.
Yeah.
My process is very different. I was given advice kasi when Eman died to tear off the bandages. Kasi if you allow the bandage to be with you, it will stay forever. Haba. Ako, pinipilit ko yung sarili ko. Eman kasi his room is still there. Nandun pa yung kwarto niya. Nandun pa yung mga gamit niya. Nandun pa yung amoy niya. Hanggang ngayon. When I wake up in the morning, I start with praying. And then I titimpla ko ng kape. Before I bond with Feli, I go inside Eman's room. And I do my quiet time. I drink my coffee, absorb the energy, I pray, I read my Bible, and whatever emotion comes dun sa umaga na yun, I do this every day. Whatever emotion comes, kung nagalit ako, naiyak ako, nag-grieve ako, nahayaan ko.
Yeah.
Parang yung bandage matanggal na, yung sugat.
Yeah.
So, when I cry, I thank the Lord. Kasi ang sarap umiyak. Pag umiyak ka, pag dumating yung mga memory sa gitna ng araw, hindi na masakit, naiyak mo na eh. So, mas proactive yung grieving ko. And then, I also have my hashtag Mondays with Eman. Every Monday, I go to her crypt. And then, I offer flowers. I light a candle. Pero alam mo, nakaka-touch. Every time I go, may kandila na. May mga bulaklak na. You know, people visit her regularly. Sariwang bulaklak. Sabi ko, kanino galing ito mga to? So my daughter has touched a lot of lives.
Yeah.
And they visit Eman on their own. And then, pero yung Mondays with Eman ko, I post something on my social media about her life, about her advocacy. That's my way of honoring Eman.
Yes.
Kaya lang pag Mondays with Eman, syempre I'm more prone also to be emotional.
Yeah.
Kasi
yeah.
naaalala ko
Of
lahat eh.
course, of course.
But that's how it is, you know? As they said, tear off the bandage.
Yeah.
Tear it off, yeah.
You said na there are times that you were angry at God.
The Lord, yeah.
Were there also times where you were angry at yourself? Or?
Yes, yeah. Part of a grieving parent, pag namatayan ka ng anak, I think 50% of it is the what if. The guilt. Ano ba dapat nagawa ko? Bakit pa namin pinadala sa Amerika? Ba't di namin nakita? Kasi after her, she had the therapy session in the States in a place called Community West. Magaling, mahusay. And then after that therapy, that's almost 2 years ago, about 2 years ago, she was okay. And she was fighting all her pressures. She was giving talks left and right about mental health. Sabi ko, thank you, Lord. You heard my prayer, you listened to my prayer. My Eman as well. So when nung nagpaalam sa amin that she wanted to study already abroad, I told her, sabi ko, Eman, are you okay? Can you study abroad? Sabi niya sa akin, Papa, the plan was for me to take a gap year. The year's over. Yeah. This is the plan. Sabi ko, galing, sabi ko. Ano na?
She knows what she wants.
Solid na siya.
Yeah.
So we allowed her. And then what happened.
Yeah.
So part of the grief of a parent is the what if, is the guilt.
The guilt.
The guilt.
Yes.
What could I have done? Nung bata pa siya, dapat nabantayan ko, dapat natutukan ko. But you know, when I was grieving the first few days, I got a letter from someone I didn't know, hindi ko kilala. Facebook lang ako. Sabi niya, Kuya Kim, I know exactly what you and Feli are going through because it happened to us. Kinuwento niya ako. Ang asawa ko has a high-paying job in Saudi Arabia, engineer. And then we found out that my daughter is bipolar, like Eman. This was 6 years ago. My husband quit his job and flew back to the Philippines and tinutukan namin ang anak ko because she was sick. But you know, sometime last year, she took her life in the middle of the night. I know what you're feeling guilty, but you know, it is what it is. Mental health has a way of hiding itself. Like, if they're going to do it, they will do it in the middle of the night. So sabi ko, Lord, so yun. It's really the guilt. The guilt.
Actually, when that happened to Emma, I have a daughter who's also in the US right now, and she's studying. And she's applying for college. And we had a conversation. Kasi syempre, as a parent, dun ako agad yung stricken ka with guilt. Wala ako dyan. How is she? You know, like kung ano ba siya, kung okay ba siya. And you know, I think yung you know, when this happens, it's also allows for us to understand or find space to reflect sa mga sarili nating relationship sa mga anak natin. And ako talaga yun yung unang-una kong naisip na parang naku, how is my daughter? I'm away from her, you know. But you know, she assured me na you know, she's also going through a lot of mental health challenges. And I think it's normal. Ngayon, na-normalize na natin yung ganitong klaseng discussions.
At napag-usapan na
And ang maganda doon is because of that, kasi before, hindi pa ganun ka-frequent yung therapy ni Amara. And ngayon, mas frequent na yung therapy niya. And it's helping us.
Because of Eman's passing.
Oo,
you became more aware.
nakatulong siya in the sense na parang mas napapag-usapan namin yung situation niya and how even if she's away, hindi kami magkasama, napaprocess niya yung pinagdadaanan niya. Because it's really hard when you're alone and you're so used to spending the last 15 years of your life, she was with us.
Diba, her Eman passing away is like really a painful thing, especially for the family. Pero yun, parang sometimes, like what you said, diba, parang gumagawa si God ng mga paraan for families to start these conversations. Kasi, I mean, kahit 2026 na masasabi natin na hindi pa lahat ng pamilya is open.
May stigma pa.
May stigma pa rin to this kind of discourse about mental health. I mean, so nakakatuwa lang. I really want to know more about her in the sense when she was still, with us na paano nag-start yung advocacy niya? Kasi she's such a staunch advocate talaga.
Grabe, no? Grabe. Kaya nga akala ko talagang todo good na siya eh. Dahil for the past 2 years, she talk about it. Lahat ng mga podcast na pwede niyang guestan to talk about mental health, guest yan. And I would listen to her and I would admire her on how articulate she was in expressing her feelings and her advocacies about mental health.
Kasi it's lived experience.
Because na-experience niya. And ang nakakagulat pa, when Emma died, I met so many kids who approached me, went to the wake, or DM'd me, telling me that Emma was giving them advice and counsel. Emma was hurting. But she was reaching out.
Yeah.
Diba? The more sabi ko, Lord, iba tong anak ko. Kahit na mabigat ang pakiramdam niya, she was reaching out to so many people, dinidm niya. And then, I got a few messages as well saying that I live because of Eman. I'm alive because of Eman.
Yeah.
And I decided to live because of Eman. But I also realized the problem. It's an epidemic eh.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to take some classes in counseling because so many people approach me now because dun sa nangyari kay Eman, people I don't know who are also suicidal or who also have mental health problems. So I talked to Eman's psychologist. Sabi niya, Kim, just refer them to a professional who knows what to do. But just listen to them and then let them get over the night. Okay. Just listen and then the next day when they sleep, magre-reset yan eh.
Yeah.
Until the next attack, no?
Yeah.
But it's important that they see a professional. But I think doon ako dinadala ni Lord din eh.
Yes.
Naging parang magnet ako sa mga taong nangangailangan ng advice sa mental health.
Kasi ang dami pang mga tao na hindi talaga nila naiintindihan yun. When a person is contemplating on suicide, it becomes about them and not about the person.
Yeah.
Parang ang first impulse mo is, hindi mo ba kami naiisip?
Napaka-selfish mo naman.
Oo, napaka-selfish mo naman. But
Hindi sila, tama ka, hindi sila ganun. They don't think of that.
yes,
They're in a pit that is so deep.
and it's sila. Sila lang, like, I mean...
They're so unworthy. They feel so unworthy. Yeah.
Is it okay? Yeah. So, I have a same experience because that's why I understood what that means because si Ice, he was in a very, very dark place and it was during the pandemic that when his dad was sick, he was contemplating on committing suicide. And he told our friend, hindi niya sinabi sa akin. So the next day, he finally had the courage to tell me about it. And when you deal with a person who's going through that, it's so easy talaga to think that, paano ko? Diba? Pero I didn't do that. What I did was to really just ask him, like, what were your thoughts? What were you thinking of doing? What triggered it? What's on your mind? Because, when I don't know if I'm correct, but when you go through that, hindi nila naiisip yung ibang tao. Ang naiisip nila yung
Actually,
pinagdadaanan nila.
at least based on my experience, naiisip ko yung ibang tao in the sense na feeling ko, if wala ako, it would be better for all of you.
They'll be happier. But you're feeling so unworthy.
Yeah, it would be better for all of you. That's why sometimes people who, parang who feel that way, they'd rather not tell anyone else. Kasi, yun, parang mas maiibsan yung pakiramdam ng mga tao sa paligid mo eh, kung wala ka na. And ako, ako nun. Sabi ko nga parang, di ba, on a normal day, di ba, may mga, our thoughts talaga jump from one to the other. Eh.
Yeah.
Di ba? Good thought, bad thought, good thought, bad thought. Kasi ako, Kuya Kim, I was diagnosed with depression 2003.
Tagal na.
Tagal na. I've been living with it for a long time. And syempre, every time naman I would get episodes and everything. I am very introspective kasi. So, pag medyo umakay ako, inaalam ko. Like, I always, I'm that type of person na gusto kong alamin ano yung mga nag-trigger so that once it happens again, kahit paano, alam kong
Aware ka
labanan.
na.
Aware ako.
Oo.
Parang ganun siya. And ang napansin ko, on a normal day, I would have like different thoughts. Like, kunyari, punta kami sa mataas na lugar. Oh, taas naman ito. Ano yung feeling pag nahulog ako dyan? Tapos biglang lilipat na naman yung thought mo sa iba. Pero when I am in my depressive mode, the bad thoughts linger. It doesn't jump. From a good thought, bigla ka, pag bad thought ka, supposedly, the next one is good, bad. Ito hindi siya aalis doon. So, kunyari, taas ito. Ano yung feeling? Siguro better if tumatalo na siya hanggang sa masasakin ka na lang, masasakin. So, ako ganun yung typically nangyayari sa akin. I'm sure it's different for different people. But, so...
With you, was there ever a moment, like, after what happened, like, ikaw, that you can go on, or what were those times? Like, ano yung mga moments?
I was very sad. The sadness was so deep that I was praying to the Lord. There's a biblical verse, to live is Christ and to die is gain. You know, if there's one thing that I really learned from Emma's passing, I lost my fear of dying. I will not do it to myself because I'm not naman suicidal. But Lord, if you want to take me now, I'm good. I'm good. Because I'll see my Emma.
Yeah.
But it's your will for me to live. I will live. I will live. What you're saying, no? During the pandemic, I had some mild... I had a lot of anxiety kasi all of us were anxious during the pandemic. But I was mildly depressed, I could say, but not suicidal. But I remember when you're depressed, palalim ka ng palalim doon sa hukay until you're in a pit. Mami, hindi ka na makalabas. Sabi ko, hindi ko na maalugto. Ano ba? Nandito na ako. Parang, so, more or less, I know what you were saying, pero not that, hindi ganun kalalim. Kaya dapat talaga, meron talagang pangangailangan ng mga professional na tumutulong.
Yes, I agree.
Kasi to get a good psychologist now, maghintay ka ng 3-4 na linggo paano kung ang urges mo ngayon
Yes. And
Hindi
dito
lang. Tsaka, hindi siya mura, Kuya Kim.
Mahal, 5,000 kada consult.
Ang mahal niya. And syempre, of course, alam naman natin, like, I remember when I was with NYC that time, nasa government ako, isa yan sa mga, masasabi kong issues that young people are really facing now. Na parang, di ba, parang lucky are those people who have access. So parang, di ba, imagine your child, di ba, going through all these things, you know, ending their own lives just because they don't have access to help. Di ba? So, yun nga yung parang, I hope there's really a way na we can, for lack of a better term, democratize this. Di ba? Na talagang ma-empower yung each one of us, even the parents, honestly, that we know how to talk to our children.
What to say?
Diba?
What to say? They just need the safe space. The parents have to be the safe space for the kids. So whenever they're depressed, they can express. What happens kasi nowadays is the parents, we are not the safe space.
We're the last to know sometimes.
They don't want to tell us.
Yes.
Because number one, we'll restrict them. Pagbabawalan mo ng lumabas, o bumiyahe, o pakibarkada.
Yes.
May ibang magulang pa, pag sinabihan, nagagalit. Ang arte mo naman. Nung panahon ko, walang ganyan. Kadalasan, ang mga boomer ganyan, mag-isip palagi. Nung panahon ko, walang depression.
Pero ikaw, I don't know kung tama, pero from what I see, like you're a very liberal parent. Kasi ganun kami ni Isaac, anak namin no? Parang communication is very important in our house.
Yeah.
We allow her to speak freely. Was that something that you
It's the
take
same.
pride of,
Yeah, we're the
that
same.
you share
Yeah, we're the
with
same.
Eman?
Actually, may ritual kami ni Eman every time I'd come home, pag parada ko ng motor ko, diretso ko sa kwarto niya. And then dati-dati, nung bata pa siya, diretso ko, without telling her. Tapos, Eman! Bata pa Talagang, tapos nahalik-halikan ko yan. Mamaya,
Cringe na.
Sinulatan ako. Sabi niya, Papa, I have my safe space. Please respect my safe space.
Patay, ayan.
Patay na. Whenever you
Dalaga na.
Dalaga na.
Oh, she's lucky.
Yeah, whenever you enter my room,
Please knock.
Knock on the door.
Oh my God.
I have the option to allow you in or not. Sabi ko, okay, I get it. Nagdadalaga na. She's already 15 eh. Nagdadalaga na. Hindi ko na siya pwedeng, Eman, wala na bawal.
Yeah.
Bawal na yan.
Same.
And then, but ang ritual namin, every time I'd come home, because I knew that Eman's sick eh. Knock on the door. Pops, all good. All good, Pops. Don't die on me, Biro ko pa yan sa kanya. Don't die. I'll try, Pops. Yan. Every night yan.
Yeah.
Every night.
Yeah.
But as I said, no, they hide it well.
Yes.
And Emma's very smart eh.
Yeah.
She wanted to study abroad.
Yeah.
So,
What is it about grief that surprises you the most na na-experience mo?
because I feel it now, I have empathy, more empathy. Whenever someone is sad or whenever someone's going through anything, I must feel ko. That's what changed me. I became milder. Dati mapanghusga ako eh. Although Kristiyano ko, mapanghusga pa rin ako eh. Ngayon, baka naman may sakit. Baka naman bipolar. Baka naman... So, mas may empathy ako ngayon.
Yes.
Because I relate everything to my Eman.
Yes.
Makulit.
Yes.
O medyo pangit magsalita. Baka naman may sakit. Everything's related to Eman now.
Oh, that's
So
nice.
that's Eman's gift to me. Her advocacy is a little kindness.
So based on your experience, what do you wish that people would know about, when someone is going through mental challenges and mental health challenges?
Na hindi sila umarte. Hindi sila umarte. Kadalasan ng mga kabataan, when they express themselves, palagi, arte mo naman. Hindi. It's a disease. And ang disease like cancer has a cure, and the cure is medicinal or therapy. Hindi umaarte lang. Ang wish ko nga sana umaarte lang eh. Sana nga umaarte na lang anak ko eh. Hindi eh. Nagkatotoo eh.
Yes.
But ang wish ko talaga, when she was going through all this, Lord, sana arte na lang. Sana nagpapapansin lang. Pero hindi eh.
Yes.
When people ask me what Emma died of, I tell them, she died of depression. She died of depression because depression kills.
Yes.
Just like cancer kills.
Before kasi, nag-start ako ng therapy, before pa, early 2000s, hindi pa siya kagaya nito, na, we talk about it openly, di ba? Before talaga, I really had a hard time looking for a doctor. And, I remember noon, nung una akong naka-feel ng symptoms, and that time na finally, nakahanap ako ng doctor who will look at what's happening sa akin. It was a while. Tagal din. So, lalo ako na nag-spiral. Kasi, hindi ko alam kung anong nangyayari sa akin eh. Hindi ko alam kung anong nangyayari sa akin. And, when I finally, had myself checked, parang it gave me a different kind of comfort. Nung nagpa-check ako. Because, diba, parang kagaya na sinabi mo kanina, diba, all these different things like cancer, diba, sakit ng tiyan, diba, ganda na explanation sa akin ng doctor ko. Our brain gets sick too, diba? And tayo, diba, pag masakit yung tiyan natin, iniinuman natin ng gamot, pinapahinga natin, diba?
At hindi natin kine-question na, drama lang yan, di ba? You don't say that when
Arte mo naman.
Oo, or pag masakit ulo mo, di mo masasabing, drama lang yan, di ba?
So parang we should treat our brains the same. And it's, for me, the most powerful
It's so complex.
organ. Yeah, it's so complex, di ba? Ang dami niyang. So, parang sana, let's forgive ourselves, di ba? When we're feeling these things. Because, like any other organ in your body, it can get sick. And it's normal if it gets sick. Hindi ka special na, di ba?
Hindi ka baliw.
Hindi ka baliw. And of course, kumbaga, different lang siya, yung symptoms na binibigay sa atin. But it gets sick and it can be treated. Di ba? So, yes, you just really have to give it the same respect, the way we give our other organs.
Yes. And for those na mga supporters, ako kasi it was a journey for me to actually get to that point where I understood what Ice was going through and I knew the words to say because sometimes we mean well, like, just think of positive things.
Pray ka
Kailangan mo lang ng pray ka lang. O kaya kailangan mo lang ng sikat ng araw. So those words or those phrases actually invalidate their experience.
Of course, yeah.
So number one, sabi nga ni Kuya Kim, it's the ministry of presence. Sometimes they don't need answers. They know the answers. It's just so discombobulated in their heads. But if you show that you're there and they're able to unpack or at least, ma-verbalize nila yung pinagdadaan nila in however way they kasi sometimes they don't even know what to say and how to make sense of those things. Natutunan ko talaga to just, ask him like, okay, just be there. I hold his hand.
Minsan hindi pa ako magsasalita
Yeah.
Higa na ako sa lap niya. Nandun lang ako.
Sarap naman nun. Ikaw ang safe space ni Ice.
Yeah.
So, Kuya Kim, right now, you think you're going into counseling kasi napaka-importante ngayon na magkaroon ng mas maraming pang advocates dito to normalize these conversations. Is it your way of, living with the loss and also honoring her memory?
It's both. Grief is love that is unrealized. I read this book by C.S. Lewis, A Grief Observed. That grief it's love, so much love. I love Eman so much. But she's not here. Where do I put the love? And grieving is like that. That's why it's so frustrating. That's why you become very sad and very grieving. To do something solid would be to express the love to Eman and to all those that Eman loves. Ang dami niyang ang dami niyang supporters na nangangailangan. So si Feli, my wife, is almost done with her masters. Ang masters pa niya public health.
Wow.
Yeah, so tama-tama, after she studies, we see ourselves doing something really solid for the advocacy.
So, for example, because of course, sabi ko nga sa'yo, we all experience, different kinds of grief. When it hits you, the moment that it hits you, like, how do you deal with it? How do you...
I thank the Lord if I'm able to cry. Kasi masarap. If I'm able to cry. Ako, whenever I visit her crypt, I cry. And I cry a lot like it's the first day. And that those tears that are shed, they're healing.
Yes.
Hinayaan ko lang. And then, pagkatapos nun, parang, thank you, Lord. But, again, prayer helps me. Without faith, then all this is meaningless. I find meaning in my faith. And my faith has increased tenfold because of what happened to Eman. That's the collateral beauty here. That
And the mere fact you're saying that, it's giving you a lot more, mas nagkaroon ka ng empathy. Mas nagkaroon ka ng understanding sa pinagdadaanan ng iba. So now you're continuing how she actually embraced this whole advocacy for mental health. Like, if she can hear you right now,
my guesting here is Eman's advocacy.
Yeah.
If Eman were alive and you invited her and she was to talk about mental health, she'd be here.
Yeah.
This is Eman's place.
Yeah.
And I'm here. Yeah. What your question is?
What would you tell her?
Eman, Papa loves you so much. You know that. Just hang in there because I'll see you. I'll see you. And when I do see you, I'm gonna give you a big, big, big hug. Tight hug. I just miss you so much. I miss your comedy. I miss your smell. I miss everything about you. Papa is strong. I'm hanging in here. But when the time comes, I'm gonna give you a big, big, big hug. I love you so much. Mama's doing okay. Jose's okay. Eliana's okay. I'm good. Papa's good. I just love you so much, Eman.
I love you, Papa.
Says that all the time. Emma's very stressed. I love you, Papa. Says that all the time. Don't die on me, okay? I'm gonna try, Papa. Even that, you make a joke out of that.
Yeah,
Don't die on me. I'm gonna try, Pops. Yeah. But Emma, just say hi to Jesus for me. Papa's gonna carry you through, okay?
For a generation na sometimes
hirap din to tell their parents what they're feeling, she made it okay to really be open.
Yeah.
And that's her legacy.
It's a legacy. And para siyang cryptocurrency, sabi ng kaibigan ko, whatever's put out there, it's already out there. It's being passed around, reposted. Despite her passing away, she lives.
Yes. How are you when you come across those videos?
Nung
of
una,
her?
ano?
Mas mahirap ba?
Nung una mahirap. Nung una mahirap. Pero as I said, no, it's my practice to tear off the bandage. So whenever I see something like that, I watch it and I thank the Lord for it, and then I become desensitized to it, and it becomes
Kahit pa paano.
more
part of your
with
being.
fondness.
Yes,
Yes.
your fondness.
I laugh at it with fondness. Nung una, ang hirap.
Totoo yun. I'm like that with my mom also. I watch our videos.
Yeah.
I read our messages. Sa una masakit. Pero you gotta rip it off.
Rip off, tear off the bandage. Yeah. Rip it off. Mami mo, bantay mo yun eh.
Sobra. Grabe. Talagang everybody was so afraid na paano si Ice because talagang
the first concert
kakabit
was hard.
niya.
The firsts.
The firsts. Nabanggit mo yun, the firsts, no? This Christmas was our first Christmas eh. We went to the same place that we went to last year. Kung saan kasama namin si Emma. This was in Colorado. Kasi mga anak ko, mga social, mga skiers yun eh. Kami ni Feli, we just let them ski and then we go around, we eat. Pero this Christmas, we went to Colorado, the same shops that we went to with Eman, the same restaurant that we went to with Eman. Oh my gosh, parang ginaganyan yung puso mo. Pero again, tear off the bandage.
Yeah.
And pray.
Power through it.
Yeah. Lord, thank you.
Yes,
Thank you, Lord.
yes.
Thank you for Eman.
Wow.
Thank you. Ganun.
That's so much
And then yung New Year's night. It was the same restaurant, the same band that was playing. And then someone sent me we sent a picture eh. Na kami, wala si Eman. Ang galing na AI. Nilagay nila si Eman. Sabi ko, wow! Talagang tear off the bandage. But when I tear it off,
Tear off the
I
bandage.
always tear it off with gratitude.
Yes.
Thank you for Eman, Lord. Thank you for Eman. Thank you for Eman. That helps me.
Yes.
Rejoice in everything. Be thankful in everything. Everything with gratitude.
And I think that's the only way.
I think that's the only way.
Kasi if not, that's the only way na to really move forward without feeling negative things. Like,
Without feeling God.
yeah, kasi
Susunod eh.
so,
Sobrang hirap.
talagang that's the
susunod
only
eh.
way to really move forward with gratitude.
With gratitude.
Always with gratitude.
Yeah. Amen.
Actually, Kuya, right now, parang na-inspire ako sa mga sinasabi niyo because feeling ko ako nandun pa ako sa, pa rin yung mga bandage. And there's still a lot of unresolved grief on my end. And my process is, I'm writing right now. Actually, I'm writing a film about my dad. But I admire this strength coming from you to confront the grief and look for ways for you to be able to power through the experience and the emotion. So for those who are probably going through what I'm going through, and who is currently grieving, what advice would you give to them?
With grief, there's no judgment. Each of us grieves differently. If Ice and I are able to tear off the bandage, that's us. You have a way of soothing your wounds in your own time. There is no set way to grieve. If you're able to address your grief with writing, then that's your way. That's your way. You don't have to confront it. At kanya-kanyang timeline. Kanya-kanyang timeline.
Kanya-kanyang timeline. And siguro isa doon is, tumatak sa akin yung sinabi mo kanina. Sometimes, when the people we love pass, we don't get all the answers.
No.
And hanggat stuck tayo doon sa pagkuha ng sagot na yon, we might get stuck in that grief. We just really have to trust that this happened already and accept.
We go by faith and not by sight.
Yeah.
I pray that all the time. Lord, give me the peace without having to understand. The peace in mystery. Yeah. And grief and pain can coexist with the peace that defies human understanding.
Yes.
Just be thankful all the time. Lord,
Yes.
thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Kuya.
At dahil dyan, thank you, Kuya
Parang ako
Kim.
yung guest. Ako nag-iiyak dito.
Wow, okay. I mean, that was heavy, but it's something that we all needed to hear. Diba?
Ako siguro if there's one thing, parang pareho kami how we are handling it. Kasi ako, diba, I mean, you know me, I don't normally talk about my feelings. Parang, pero, like yun, like, every time I visit yung crypt nila mama, I talk to them as if they're here. Alam mo yun, kumbaga, and ako siguro kasi I have this belief na they will always be here eh. And ang iba lang ng form, pero nandyan sila eh. And at least with my mom, she keeps showing me that through different ways. My parents, they weren't perfect. Minsan may questions pa rin ako, pero there's beauty in mystery. And sometimes there's healing in accepting that there are things that will never be answered. Yung closure ko, mangyayari lang once I have these answers. I may not even get there.
I'm questioning myself kasi parang feeling ko sobrang taas ng defenses siguro ng buong katawan ko. So I feel like sometimes I'm devoid of feeling. Parang yun, sana magkaroon akong moments yung parang hindi ko pa siya napapanaginipan. Pero may mga moments na pag naaalala ko siya, miss ko siya, like I wanna sit with that feeling. Pero I still find myself avoiding that. So, it's kanya-kanya tayo ng process. Kanya-kanya tayo ng timeline when it comes to confronting the grief that we're feeling. But, alam ko na I'm moving forward. I'm writing. I'm even writing songs. Like, nata-channel ko kung ano man yung pinagdadaanan ko into not really actually creative, but a way for me to process it and unpack what I feel in a form that I know best. So when I write, that's when I cry. But I love him. I think nakarating ako dun sa I love him regardless. Marami pa rin akong tanong parang ganun. And siguro I need to come to terms with the fact that I will never be able to find answers to those questions. And that's okay. That kahit may mga ganun kang tanong, yung mga stories ng ibang tao on how they have experienced him, it allows you to connect with your own experience, my own experience with him. I think right now, nandun ako na I'm aware of that. I'm more, and actually when we were going through the process of shooting the film, ang dami kong moments of confrontation with that. Like, I'm allowing myself to be vulnerable. And it's funny because it's only when I'm writing that I'm vulnerable. Like, natatanong ko yung mga gusto kong itanong, nasasabi ko dun sa text yung mga gusto kong masagot. And na-experience ko siya pag naririnig ko siya sa ibang tao. Pag na-assign ko yung mga feelings, yung mga tanong ko dun sa mga iba't ibang characters na na-create dun sa film. So, like right now, yung mga discoveries ko about what I feel about my dad and ano yung gusto kong marating, nape-personify siya ng iba't ibang characters dun sa film. So, it
helps.
It helps a lot. It helps a lot.
And I think that's the thing na parang, ako siguro, isa na sa mga learnings ko. I mean, I've known this naman ever since, but kumbaga, mas napapatibay niya lang na, yun nga diba, grieving doesn't have the time limit. You can't say that since this is your pace, that should be yours too. Hindi. And I think tayong lahat, we should all be respectful of that process. Because it's a journey. It really is a journey that is very exclusive to that person. So, kaya ako talaga, more than any advice, it's just being there for the person, diba? Who's going through grief, whether it's like grieving or anticipatory grief, which is also
and really be present. Like when you check on them, it wouldn't hurt to really reach out and send a personal message. There was a time na parang minsan, di ba, dahil nga may aversion ako sa mga wakes, pag meron akong naririnig na passed away, parang sobrang naglalaban yung sarili ko kung pupunta ba ako. Kasi nga, I'm exposing myself too much, yung parang ganon. And I don't want to confront that. I don't want to go home with my own grief. Nadala-dala ko siya. Kanina, ang ganda ng pagkasabi niya, the ministry of presence, that really stuck with me. Like, presence can actually be more powerful than anything.
Oh, yeah.
That you can just be there. And yun, that's reason why when we visit a person, pag sa week, di ba? Kahit na alam mo namang marami namang ibang pupunta doon, yung makita ka nila doon, dahil you wanna make this person feel that you are there is really more than enough. And ngayon, I'll be more conscious of that. Kasi nga, minsan natatabunan ako ng sarili kong fears. Hindi dahil ayoko ipakita that I'm there, pero parang meron akong mga...
And I think the ministry of presence doesn't only apply when someone has passed, diba? Parang, I think we should apply it more when people are still alive.
Yeah.
Diba? Really being there for one another, checking on them, if kumusta sila or not.
And not just assuming that people are okay.
Yeah. And it feels good that, we're able to talk about this kasi yun, I'm sure, grief is something that is not normally talked about sa Philippines, or at least, diba, in families. So, parang, it's nice to hear, different kinds of ways, no? How people handle these things. So, yeah.
And grabe talaga yung niya rin, yung openness niya, yung perspective niya about how to move forward and dealing with it.
And yun nga, at the end of the day, and ako, I always say this, I owe it to my parents to live a good life.
Yeah.
That's my way of honoring them.
Yeah.
Grief it's not just about sadness, diba? There's so many, it's about pain, yes, but it's also about learning, growing, and finding strength, especially when life feels really unbearable.
And that grief doesn't happen in isolation. It affects the people around you too. Finding ways to support your family or loved ones while processing your own emotions is a lesson in resilience we can all learn from.
So, sa mga talk sheeters natin, it's okay to feel sad. It's okay to take your time. Huwag kayong magpa-pressure sa mga tao na sa paligid nyo. Nagsasabing, uy, dapat okay ka na. Walang time limit ang pagluluksa. But ang important is, you keep moving forward. Kahit step by the step lang yan.
Para sumakses.
Para sumakses ka. But you're gonna get there.
Yeah.
Believe me, you're gonna get there.
Yeah.
And ako ngayon, I'm able to say that, whenever I see pictures with my mom or with my dad, whenever I watch her videos, I can smile now. And more than feeling the loss, mas lalo ko pang nararamdamang nandyan lang sila. So, I think, and yun that's what love is at the end of the day, diba? Because real love never changes. Real love never, you don't lose love. Kumbaga, it may change form, yes, pero it's there and it will always be there. So thank you for joining us under the sheets tonight, Talk Sheeters. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Our podcast is also available on Spotify, so make sure you follow us there. Leave a comment or message kung may gusto kayong topic na pag-usapan namin sa mga susunod pang mga episodes.
So this is Talk Sheets with Ice and
Liza,
where we strip down and bear it all under the covers.
so don't hold back, just talk
Talk
sheets.